Hey everyone, it's Leslie Hassler with your Biz Rules Business Coaching. Welcome to Coaching from the Carpool. This week is all about hiring your Rockstar team. A lot goes into hiring. Yesterday we talked about a lot of different things. It was a great, Mondays tend to be that great big overview, right? Today we're talking about how to hire the right person. Now I want to start out with this. There are some fabulous companies out there, and I'm going to give a big shout out to a company named People right here in Dallas, Mike McCormick. If you need assessments, and you should be doing assessments on your potential employees, contact an expert that really knows how to put those kinds of assessments to work in your business. It's one of those systems, I know we talked a little bit about systems, that really make a difference in hiring the right person. And I think if money, yesterday we talked about money's one of the big reasons why people don't hire. Probably this is number 2. They're afraid of hiring the wrong person. So here's the deal. You're probably going to hire the wrong person because you've got to figure out how to hire the right person. That's why people like Mike are great in being able to help you narrow things down. But I think the other reason why we tend to hire the wrong person is a concept that I don't know if you've heard this, but you should be hiring on attitude, not on aptitude. All right, so we're hiring on attitude, not on skill. Because here's the truth of the matter is, get a little text message coming in there. You can teach a skill. Most people can learn. Like when I look at a potential employee, I look at the fact of, can you think? Can you problem solve? Can you learn? That is more important to me than if they know this specific skill. Yes, at times, we're looking at highly specialized. You may have a highly specialized position in your company and you need a certain skill. You need a certain certification. And there's always an exception to the rule. My brain's a little slow, guys. I've caught the cold that's going around. So pardon me if I sound like I'm talking through my nose, but trying to nip this one in the bud fast. But if you really hire on attitude, then you're more likely to get a good employee for the business. If you hire on attitude, you're more likely to have a problem solver. If you have this kind of just a different tact to hiring, it can really be beneficial. Here's where I was going. So a lot of people, when they are posting their job descriptions and they're trying to hire, they're saying, I need you proficient in Word, I need you to have a professional phone voice, I need all of these things. And that's hiring on skill or aptitude. What I'd like you to do is shift and make this hiring process a little more experiential, if you will, to test the things that people may not show up on paper, right? A resume is very skill-based type of a resume. There's certain things that just won't show up on paper. So let me give you an example. And I love this. This is, I will have to go back to my notes and find out who the name of this gentleman, but there was a speaker that came in for Success in Business, Plano Chamber. He was talking about hiring, and he showed an example of a attitude hiring ad. And this one was placed by Microsoft. It says, we're looking for problem solvers. And then it had this really long mathematical equation that when you solved it, actually was the phone number to be able to apply for the job. That is brilliant. That's kind of that experiential thing that I'm talking about. Oftentimes I will prescribe to a process that I learned through Action Coach International when I was one of their clients, and it's really having a job ad that talks all about who the person is, not what the skills, but what kind of attitude. Do you have a can-do attitude? Are you a self-starter? Is being motivated one of your top things? Do you like inspirational quotes? If you do, and if you like this kind of office, and again, this ad is a little meant to help weed out or help people self-opt out. I'm always very clear about what I'm like to work with in probably the most negatively neutral way that I can be. Meaning that I'm honest. I work fast. I work really fast. One of my skills that I have to work better on is that I don't always give complete instruction because I'm working so fast. You've got to be okay to roll with that. I'll come back, but you've got to, if you're not asking questions, then there's a relationship there that I want with people when they're on my team. I want a questioner. I want somebody that's going to ask questions, somebody that sees this much more as a partnership. If you're looking for a gatekeeper, you need to say that. I want somebody that cares more about me and protecting me so that I can take care of our clients. In design, we use one, especially like for office managers. We want you to love design, but have no desire to be a designer, right? That's a perfect attitude for somebody if you were looking at like they would be an office manager. So you want these attitudes, you want these interests, and you want to have people self-opt out. Now, here's the crazy thing. If you put up a resume, I don't know if you've tried to fill a job lately, and I have with a couple of my clients, especially that first hire, right? Where if we put it up on Craigslist or Indeed or something like that, you're going to get swamped with resumes. And in one way, that's good, right? But you also get a lot of people that aren't qualified. You also have a lot of people that really are just applying for jobs, not like they're going through the motions. They're not committed to the job process. And you probably have had those. So this process will weed those out. And it will actually reduce the number of applicants. So it's beneficial if you have time to allow this process to happen, right? But what you'll do is actually put that experiential or that attitude ad, not a skill-based ad, but an attitude ad out there, and then have them take the next step. Now, what we would do is we'd set up a phone number and actually ask them to, we would tell them in the ad what we're going to ask them. We'd rephrase it on the answering machine like nobody's answering this, okay? This is voicemail. We'd rephrase the question. We're like, if you need to stop and think about these questions, hang up now and call back, all right? And we had 4 or 5 questions that we would ask. Obviously we want their name, their information, best way to contact them, an email and a phone number. Those are 3 really easy peasy questions. Then we ask what inspired you to make this call. And then we ask maybe one other thing related to the actual job position. Once they do that, then we'll give them the job description, more the technical specs and things of that nature, and request a resume and stuff. You'd be amazed by how many people can't follow directions. Bringing in somebody that can follow your directions is really crucial. And so you can see the value suddenly of being able to do this, where people will go, hey, yeah, my name is so-and-so. Yeah, I'm interested in the job. Call me. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to call you because you haven't followed my directions. And if you can't follow directions for a job interview, are you going to be able to follow directions when I hire you? So you see how we're starting to test certain elements of a good employee as we put them through the job process, so that we're actually attracting great talent. We're getting people with great attitudes and people that will do what it is that we need them to do. Now, there's more steps to this. You can have group interviews. You can have individual interviews. I've done them both ways. I do like the group interview. It puts a little stress into the situation, and you'll start to see how people, how they respond under stress. But it's really interesting. Again, you're testing things that you can't see on a resume if you think about it. And then you can go in, if you do the group interview, you can go into a private one-to-one interview and you can do a little bit more. But we were, I was at a mastermind for me, not the one I run, but one I went to as another attendee. And we were talking about hiring. And there was one gentleman at the table that told the story of another business owner that basically tested somebody's ability to multitask in his interviews. And how did he do that? He tossed the ball back and forth. Like, would they pick up the ball? Would they play? Would they be able to pass the ball back and forth between each other as they talked? That was a skill, or one of those things that wouldn't come across a resume that he really wanted to know. So you really should be hiring on attitudes right? On those soft skills, if you will, of items that you wouldn't be able to ascertain from a resume. And then get to the skills. You can always teach the skill. You can always train the individual, but you can't make a pessimistic person be optimistic, right? You can't make somebody with a shy voice always have a demonstrative voice. It just doesn't happen that way. And that's one of the ways that we get off track in our hiring decisions. So that's it for today, guys. Tomorrow, we'll be talking more about hiring your Rockstar team and what to do and how to make sure they're doing what you want them to do. I find that 99% of the people want to do a good job. It's just that we don't always tell them what a good job is. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. I hope you're having a wonderful day, staying away from the cold that's going around if that's what's happening in your school. Gotta love kids. And we'll chat with you soon. This has been Leslie Hassler with Your Biz Rules Business Coaching. And I'm going to ask one more thing. I'm going to move this show. I'm going to move it over to my business page. So if you want to be able to keep watching, check back here as soon as I get done posting this. I'll go back in and add the Facebook page, but an easy short link is just yourbizrules.com/FB, so Frank Boy for Facebook. And they'll take you straight to my Facebook business page. If you'll like it, then you'll get the updates when we're going on for coaching for the Carpool. So do that so you can stay in the know. Looking forward to that. And we'll be talking with you soon. This has been Coaching with the Carpool. I'm Leslie Hassler. Thanks so much, guys. And bye.